The strange part wasn't that the lake showed no reflection. It was that the sky above it was perfectly clear. And still, the water looked like it was remembering something else. The surface didn't ripple, didn't mirror the clouds, didn't acknowledge the trees leaning over its edge, as if the lake had quietly decided to stop showing the present. Tonight, we step quietly into another forgotten mystery. A place where questions linger longer than answers. The air feels older here, as if the past is waiting just beyond the edge of light. Settle in. The mystery is waiting. The lake sits deep in a northern valley, far from highways, where maps hesitate and signals fade. Locals call it Stillmere, not because it's calm, but because nothing stays. No fish live in its depths, no birds land on its surface. And for reasons no one can fully explain, photographs taken here never develop correctly. But that was only the first thing that didn't make sense. The first records of Stillmere appear in survey logs from the late 1800s. Short notes, incomplete sketches. Surveyors marked the shoreline carefully, but left the center of the lake blank. No depth measurements, no soundings. Just a single sentence written twice, as if the author didn't trust himself the first time. Water unusually quiet. In the 1930s, a small research cabin was built near the lake's edge. Its purpose was simple: measure evaporation, study mineral content, observe seasonal change. The lead researcher stayed for 6 months. His assistant left after 3 weeks. The official reason was illness, but the assistant never spoke about Stillmere again. He moved inland, changed professions, and refused interviews until his death. The research journals remain, page after page of careful observation, until the handwriting begins to drift. Dates are crossed out, temperatures repeat themselves, and one line appears again and again, written smaller each time, as if trying not to be noticed. The water doesn't match the day. Locals say the lake behaves differently depending on who stands near it. Some describe seeing the reflection, but older. Others see nothing at all. One fisherman claimed the surface showed a storm approaching 3 days before the sky ever changed. No storm ever came, but the fisherman didn't return either. In 1962, aerial photographs were taken during a regional land survey. Every lake nearby reflected sunlight normally, except Stillmere. From above, it appeared darker, almost unfinished. When technicians adjusted contrast, they noticed something unsettling. The lake's surface reflected a tree line that no longer existed. Trees that had burned down 5 years earlier. But the next discovery would change everything they thought they understood. When the old research cabin was finally reopened decades later, nothing inside had rotted. Paper was intact, ink unfaded, but every clock inside, wall clocks, wristwatches, timers, was stopped at a different time. None matched to the same hour. None matched night or day, as if the room itself couldn't agree on when it was. But none of it prepared them for what they found next. Behind the cabin, buried beneath leaves and sediment, was a final journal. The last entry was dated 3 years after the researcher officially disappeared. The handwriting was calm, precise. It described standing by the lake, watching the surface slowly change, not reflecting the past, not showing the future, but showing moments that never happened, events with no witnesses, days that never arrived. The entry ended mid-sentence. No panic, no conclusion, just silence. Some scientists believe the lake's mineral composition stores light unusually, like a natural recording device. But critics ask, why would it store moments that never occurred? Others suggest deep underground pressure bends perception, that the lake reflects layered time. Yet nearby lakes share the same geology, and none behave this way. Skeptics argue the phenomenon exists only in observers, that expectation shapes perception. But photographs disagree, and cameras don't imagine. A softer theory suggests Stillmere reflects probability, what almost happened. But no model explains why some futures linger while others vanish completely. Stillmere remains untouched now, no fences, no signs. Just water that refuses to mirror the present. Perhaps that's what unsettles us most. Not that the lake hides answers, but that it shows possibilities we were never meant to see. Maybe the truth was never lost, just waiting. If a place could reflect what never came to be, which theory feels closest to the truth for you?